Raise your hand if you're ready for another unexpected journey back to Middle-earth. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos, and it's been about a month and a half since we did an update video to the Hunt for Gollum, and today we've got some big news and fresh leaks on the upcoming Lord of the Rings movie. And this is a follow-up to our last video, and yes, I read every single comment on that video. And I know a lot of you had questions, so stick around because we're going to be talking confirmed returning characters, new production updates, some rumors that are flying around, and of course, fan theories toward the end of the video. And I'll tease this. One beloved hero from the original trilogy might actually be making a comeback in a way that could surprise everybody. We'll talk about that later. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Drop a like, and yes, I read every single comment on every single video, and yes, I am about to be a published author. My first debut novel is up for pre-order. Welcome to the family. It is a science fiction mystery thriller. I would love to see you guys involved with it if you want to go check it out on Amazon and Apple and wherever else it is. And it launches December 16th. I'll put a link in the description and I'll pin the top comment. If you do happen to pick it up, please shoot me a message or email me. I would love to know about it. Now, let's talk about the things we know for sure. This project isn't some random spinoff. Actually, that's what I thought it was in the beginning. It's being crafted by the original creative team from Peter Jackson's trilogy, which should really excite everybody, or at least put everybody at a little bit of ease. I mean, that's awesome. Peter Jackson himself is back as a producer, along with Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens, the same team who brought us the Lord of the Rings films. We all cherish those. I mean, Elijah Wood, Frodo, actually said it feels like getting the creative band back together with the same production designers returning and shooting again in New Zealand. So the look and the feel of this movie should seamlessly connect to the classic trilogy that we love. Of course, modernized a little bit. That was a long time ago, but that's a really, really good way to start things. And the director's chair, Andy Serkis, Gollum himself, legendary motion capture actor, is directing and reprising his role as Gollum. And that feels, to me, it just feels right. Serkis has been prepping down in New Zealand as we speak right now. He revealed that filming is slated to begin in early 2026 around May. And according to Sir Ian McKellen, they're eyeing a December 17, 2027 theatrical release. In his own words, it's a sizable movie, and they'll take as long as needed to get it right. And he sounds incredibly excited to reunite with the New Zealand crew. He promised the tone would feel very close to the original trilogy. Same sensibility, even some of the same locations, but with a fresh perspective as it dives deeper into Smeagol's character than ever before. I'm brimming with confidence right now. I mean, it's not being rushed. It's being done right. It's the original team. We've waited nearly 2 decades for another Lord of the Rings film, and if it takes a couple more years for quality, I'm down for it. And in case you heard rumors about Hunt for Gollum being split into multiple films, Boyens, one of the writers, has clarified. This is planned as a single film, albeit probably a long one, which I'm okay for. They do have ideas for another Middle-earth movie after this, but that is a story and a video for another day. The focus right now, it's on Gollum's tale. Bottom line is Middle-earth is in good hands here. We've got the OG team on board and a solid timeline and a director who literally knows Gollum inside out. Now let's talk about characters and cameos. You heard me right. Characters, cameos. Gandalf, Frodo, officially in the mix for the Hunt for Gollum. I mean, that was huge. Came straight from Gandalf himself, Sir Ian McKellen. During a Q&A at a fan convention, McKellen slyly teased, "I'll tell you 2 secrets about the casting. There's a character in the movie called Frodo, and there's another character called Gandalf. Apart from that, my lips are sealed." And Sir Ian has lived a long and prosperous life, and I think he's at the point now, even if they told him he could or told him he couldn't, I think he can pretty much mic drop whenever he wants to. It's basically confirmed that Ian McKellen is returning as Gandalf the Grey, and we'll see Frodo Baggins in the film as well, presumably played by Elijah Wood. Again, who else could it be? I don't think they could try to do anything else there, and they're definitely not going to do CGI. In fact, an October event that Elijah and Ian both listed as returning, so it's pretty much a done deal. If that news alone doesn't get you hyped to go watch this, I don't know what will. And when I first heard about the Hunt for Gollum, I was a pessimist. I really was. I was like, come on, do we really want to do this? But now as it all starts to come out and the information comes out and how they're doing this, I'm getting more and more excited. So we've got Frodo and Gandalf fitting into the story, and how do they do that? Well, Gandalf to me makes total sense. In Tolkien's lore, it was Gandalf who launched the Hunt for Gollum in the first place. He asked Aragorn to track Gollum down, so having Gandalf pop up, that feels organic. Now let's be honest. Who doesn't want more Gandalf? We all do. Every scene is better with a bit of the Mithrandir magic, if you ask me. Frodo, on the other hand, that one's a little tricky. In the timeline of Middle-earth, Frodo never crossed paths with Gollum until much later. I think it was in the Two Towers. And during the events this film would cover, Frodo was just chilling in the Shire, completely unaware of Gollum's existence. So how will Frodo appear without breaking the story's continuity? I mean, the filmmakers know Frodo shouldn't really know anything about Gollum yet, and I saw a lot of your comments on the last video raising that exact concern last time, and I hear you. I think the likely scenario is that Frodo's role will be a very small cameo or even a framing device. So think about how they used older Bilbo and Frodo in the Hobbit movies. Little prologue, little epilogue, bits that kind of tie into the main narrative without actually altering it. There's one report that even compared Frodo's inclusion to his brief intro scene in An Unexpected Journey, which set the stage without messing with the lore. So maybe we'll see Frodo reading from the Red Book, or maybe reflecting on Gollum's story from a future perspective. Something along those lines, I think. Elijah Wood himself hinted that the script is really good, and it maintains a strong continuity with the original film. So me personally, I'm confident that they're going to handle Frodo in the right, clever way. It might just be a really short but heartwarming glimpse of Frodo that connects this film to the Fellowship of the Ring. And for me, any excuse to see Elijah put the Hobbit feet on again, I'm okay with. But it's definitely looking like Gandalf's role will be much, much larger than Frodo's. There was a Collider article that did voice the worry that Frodo appearing could break the established Lord of the Rings continuity if it was done poorly, but I'm not worried about it at all. I mean, my takeaway is Gandalf and Frodo are back. Now, here's the big one I teased at the beginning. What about Aragorn? I mean, this film story literally centers on the hunt for Gollum, and guess who's the hunter? It's Aragorn, son of Arathorn, the future king himself, right? In Tolkien's appendices, Gandalf grows suspicious that Bilbo's ring is the One Ring, and around the year 3009 of the Third Age, he goes and enlists Aragorn to help track Gollum down. Now, Aragorn spends years searching and finally captures Gollum in the Dead Marshes and then brings him to the Elves of Mirkwood for safekeeping. So you cannot tell the hunt for Gollum story properly without Aragorn. He's centrally focused to the whole chapter of this Middle-earth history. But the question is Viggo Mortensen gonna return? I mean, he is Aragorn for all of us, but it's been over 20 years since the Fellowship was filmed, and in this story, he's actually a bit younger chronologically, about 80, which for him is like in his prime. Mortensen, I think he's in his mid-60s. I mean, he's in good shape, and we know Aragorn is well preserved, and I think the good news is he stated he's open to returning. He said he'd love to play Aragorn again if it was the right thing. That's what they all say. And if his current age could be factored in or handled appropriately. He doesn't want to do a disservice to the character, which I respect, but he didn't rule it out. In fact, he sounded like he'd be happy to don the Ranger boots one more time if the story justified it. There's also the possibility of a little cinematic de-aging magic to make him appear closer to Aragorn's look from the trilogy. After all, we now have the technology, and even Aragorn's actor has joked these days, with AI, you can do anything with de-aging, and he's right. You just got to do it right. I'm rooting for him to return. It's hard to imagine anybody else actually playing that part. The continuity would just feel so much tighter if it's actually him. You guys let me know in the comments. Would you prefer him with a bit of CGI touch-up, or do you want a younger actor to step up for all the Aragorn scenes, which I think would probably be a lot of them, personally. Probably one of the main characters in this story. I don't want recasting. I'd rather have CGI personally, but that's just me. I think that's the way they're going to go anyway. It's the hunt for Gollum. It is literally covering Aragorn's journey, tracking Gollum. We go from the Misty Mountains, we go to the Dead Marshes. This is it. That's what it's all about. But that's not the only people. I mean, with Gollum being taken to the Woodland Realm, guess what? Of course, we have to get Legolas, right? I mean, he's the Prince of Mirkwood. In Tolkien's Fellowship book, it's mentioned that Gollum was held prisoner by the Wood Elves and ended up escaping. And he actually comes to the Council of Elrond to report that escape. So logically, during Gollum's captivity, he would be present, even involved in guarding him. And of course, since day one, we want to know if Orlando Bloom will be back, if he's weighed in. He hasn't heard anything official, but he has made it loud and clear he would hate to see someone else play his character. He basically said, if Peter Jackson says jump, I'll say how high, which tells me we're going to see him. I mean, I have a feeling we're at least going to get a small cameo. Probably not going to be huge, but could be helping handle Gollum in the dungeons. Maybe he's present during Gollum's escape or something like that. But there's other cameos too, other familiar characters. One of those is Arwen. In the late Third Age between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, Arwen was around Rivendell, and this is actually when her relationship with Aragorn blossomed. They got engaged in 2980. Now, Liv Tyler, who played Arwen, has said recently she'd do anything to return to Middle-earth. She was super enthusiastic about it. All of these actors seem ready to come back, especially knowing Peter Jackson's there, and it's the OG crew, and they're going back to New Zealand. I think you're going to see a lot of them. I mean, we could see cameos from Gimli. We could see Radagast the Brown. I mean, you guys name some others. I mean, we could see a lot. Maybe Boromir traveling from Gondor after his dream. There's so many different things that we could actually get here. But one that we probably won't get is Elrond. I mean, Hugo Weaving made it pretty clear he's not interested in returning as Elrond. He said he's had his fill of Middle-earth, and he also pointed out that as an immortal elf, Elrond's unchanged appearance would be hard to pull off now. But we have CGI, so if Rivendell features, they might keep him off screen or mentioned. And we are probably not going to see the other hobbits either. Sam, Merry, Pippin, I just don't think they have anything truly to add to this, to be honest with you. But the rest, get ready. Expectations for me, it's high. This is an exciting project, and this is going to explore a critical gap in the Middle-earth story. What happened to Gollum in the decades after The Hobbit, leading right up to the Fellowship of the Ring? I mean, you guys let me know. At some point, he falls into Sauron's hands in Mordor, and he's tortured and reveals the infamous Baggins Shire. We know that. So we get there. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think. If anything new breaks, I will definitely keep you posted, and I'll see you soon.